if you can manage to run a, say, tank into a group of vultures that aren't paying attention and has a spider mine chasing the Goliath, you can take out a lot of, or tank, or whatever I said, you can take out a lot of vultures purely by splash, you know, really just the way they work anyway. And little damage getting done to that tank by splash from its own tank, so it's kind of imperative that he starts scanning before he runs out and destroying all this stuff. And more spider mines ready that aren't scanned yet, so at least a good delay tactic for DarkElf to slow Fantasy down. And we saw him actually do this against his last opponent, Zango. He used mines to slow his opponent down big time, wasting a lot of scan on them. Well, he had observers, but making him attack every single unit, every single spider mine before moving on, which definitely slows you down. So now tank's finally out for DarkElf. He's going to be able to hold his position now because of those tanks, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to push in, and 4 machine shops on those factories. So I'm expecting a very tank-heavy build now at this point from DarkElf, and Fantasy seems to be having a pretty good mix still. 3rd expansion going down for Fantasy, although there's so many mines over there, he can't actually build it there, so he's building it outside of the base, and then he'll float it over. And here we see the tank standoff that is common in Terran vs. Terran matches, and I don't know how damaged those... ooh, Vulture's taking out a tank. Nice job on DarkElf's part. That's not common. I don't know how much damage that barracks has taken. It may be burning, but it should be okay. So now a little scouting going around, and starport going down for DarkElf. So we may actually see this start going into the dropship field, so we can watch some exciting dropship micro, and that's always cool because there's some good micro there. Those mines are going to spot DarkElf's, DarkElf is going to spot Fantasy's expansion with that. And in the meantime, just again, a few seconds later, DarkElf is getting his 3rd expansion himself, so a little slower than Fantasy on every single expansion thus far. I don't know how that's going to turn out for him in the end. Starport is now done for DarkElf, and DarkElf is just lining up in the middle of the field to kind of do a nice containing. And pumping out those tanks was a good idea because now he's got the superior tank count, and he could potentially even break that contain if he really wanted to, and do a little bit of a timing push because it's going to take a little while for Fantasy to catch back up in tank count. And there we see the starport and its control tower going down for both players. Actually, DarkElf a few seconds ahead for once of Fantasy, and you can be sure that they're going to pump out dropships from there. They probably will only use a single starport because dropships, you only need a certain amount before you stop making them, so it's not really worth it to make, say, 3 or 4 starports and pump them out in mass, but I suppose you could if you really wanted to, but definitely a waste of resources. So you'll just see them slowly come out, and they'll make use of them as they come out, which is probably the right way to go. And Science Facility going down too, a little surprising, I guess. Well, no, that's not surprising. It looks he's probably doing that for the upgrade game. Stay ahead if you can, or catch up. I don't know where he's at in relation because I can't see the upgrade numbers on this video. Looks like some SCVs are out in the field. I don't know if they're going to build turrets or repair, or they're just running by to expand again or something like that. It looks like they're still running by. Dropship is now out for DarkElf, so DarkElf has the mobility advantage. Wait, no, Fantasy also has his first dropship out, so pretty well tied up. And oh, I didn't realize this. 12 o'clock expansion was actually taken by Fantasy. And DarkElf taking the 6 o'clock. So it looks like every single expansion at this point is already used on the map, and it'll be basically, this is going to turn into a very big game very quickly. It's all going to rely on how quickly each player can make use of that economy that they're going to have. And I would love to see some battle cruisers, since you never see that anymore these days, it seems. And those vultures doing a nice harassment, and oh man, taking out 2 tanks with those spider mines, very effective. And it's going to be tough for DarkElf to take care of all those mines. I mean, that's difficult. But he should do an okay job now that he's got enough units there. And uh-oh, what was that? I think that was more starports. What do we have here? It may be, I think that was a physics attachment for Fantasy, so we may see battle cruisers. Of course, I say that the one match that it looks like we may actually see him. More spider mines go down surrounding that tank, but not going to catch him. And those spider mines are going to be probably destroyed. Yep, finally by Scan before those can do any more damage. And doing a good job on disrupting the economy at the main building area for DarkElf. By Fantasy just took out a ton of SCVs. Slight, I guess, miscue on DarkElf's part. He kind of just wasn't paying attention to something. And here we see 4 starports being completed, down, something currently being built. I don't know what. With all those expansions that By Fantasy has, he definitely is able to support a battlecruiser build, and I really hope to see that. And again, just taking advantage of dropships to do some more harassment on the natural expansion of DarkElf. And he's going to be taken out pretty quickly here. He did take out 1 or 2 SCVs, and more than that, it was enough to distract DarkElf. And it's really kind of a delay tactic until these battle cruisers come out. And awesome! I am so happy to see a battle cruiser right now. I haven't seen a battle cruiser in 2 years. It's been a long time. I missed him. And now, if this was scanned by DarkElf, he's going to have to come in soon and start pushing in, because once battle cruisers hit a critical mass, it's really easy to run over one other player. He's either going to have to pump Goliaths or Wraiths or battle cruisers of his own, or I don't know what. I mean, really, it's difficult to fight off. And Blue Storm has a few ledges which make battle cruisers very viable, actually. And it looks like Science Facility now going down for DarkElf. Again, just slightly lagging behind Fantasy. Well, that lag seems to be growing after each time that we see that. So he's going to be a little slower if he decides to fight battle cruisers with battle cruisers, and I don't know if and when he's going to build more starports. So